the members of the Science and Security Board moved the hands of the doomsday clock forward, largely, though not exclusively, because of the mounting dangers in the war in Ukraine. We moved the clock forward the closest it has ever been to midnight. It is now 90 seconds to midnight. Russia's thinly veiled threats to use nuclear weapons remind the world that escalation of the conflict by accident, intention, or miscalculation is a terrible risk. The possibilities that the conflict could spin out of anyone's control remains high.
3 years ago, in January 2020, like you, Rachel, I stood here when the hands of the clock were moved to 100 seconds to midnight. I said at that time, we are faced by a gathering storm of extinction-level consequences, and time is running out.
Kahalayim, Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai, Ba'ashim, Chakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone that told me this truth. Salutations to the Akhmar pushing this word in all sincerity and honesty, the hopeful elect. Shalom. My name is Korah Allah. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. The title is going to be Kiss Your Family Goodbye, because according to prophecies, we live in the last days. Now you've seen the doomsday clock has been moving closer and closer to midnight. Now it stands at 90 seconds, and midnight being the end. This is doomsday according to etymology online. It says day of the last judgment, Middle English doomsday, from Old English doomsdig, from doomis, genitive of dome, see doom. Now let's go to doom. Doom, Middle English doom, from Old English dome, a law, statute, decree, administration of justice, judgment, justice, equity, righteousness. And I just want to say off of that this destruction, this upcoming destruction that has to take place and it's going to destroy this kingdom. All right. It is righteous. All right, because the Lord said he's coming with his righteous indignation. Lord, I'll get that script later. From Proto-Germanic Dumas, source also Old Saxon and Old Frisian Dome, Old Norse Dome, Old High German judgment decree. Right, this is a judgment being brought to pass. I'll go down a little bit. It says, originally, in the natural sense, originally in a neutral sense, but sometimes also a decision determine fate or fortune. All right, and the faith of this kingdom, this age, the end of this age, all right, is determined. It's sealed. It says irrevocable destiny. Irrevocable. Meaning what? It can't be changed. Not able to be changed, reversed, or recovered. Final. So basically, that's the case because the Lord sent out these prophecies to happen, this judgment to happen. And the scriptures say his word will not return unto him void. A book of laws in Old English was a dumbeck. Well, that's pretty much the point. So doomsday, day of judgment. All right. And irrevocable. You can't change it. And it's crazy because that's exactly what Esau liked to do. Esau being the so-called white man, all right, and the ones in charge mainly being the elites, the international bankers family, all right, seeking for a way to extend their kingdom. But it's impossible. But in the doomsday clock being set to 90 seconds shows you what? That they notice. They know it's not gonna, they know that their kingdom is about to be out of here. This is Revelations 12:12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. And that's going into the spirit realm, the actual heavens, where you have the angels, you have the prophets that passed on into the spirit world. All right, you have Yahweh Shai. It says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Why are they rejoicing? Because they know that you're at the end of this thing. We're at the end of Esau's rulership, the end of our captivity. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down onto you. And that's going on into the world today. The people are across the four corners of the world, because the devil is talking about a man. When you go into the word devil, it's out of the blue letter. And it says Diablos. Strong's G1228. And let's go to show Strong's info. A traducer, especially Satan, compare false accuser, devil, slanderer. All right. And that's Esau for you, because he slanders who? The nation of Israel. False accuser. All right. That's his whole MO. So it says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil, the slanderer, the false accuser. Right? The scriptures say what? He goes forth as soon as he be born, he goes forth speaking lies. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath. That great wrath is going into that new world order. It's going into martial law. All right, it's going in to the making the MOTB mandatory. It says having a great wrath, because he knoweth he has but a short time. Right, man. So Esau is watching. The elites are watching. They see the disasters come to this place. They see that they're on the brink. Not us. We're not part of this kingdom. They're on the brink of World War III. Okay? They're on the brink of losing everything. So of course they're gonna come down having great wrath, because they want to complete their whole agenda. All right? And the people are gonna suffer. You know? You're gonna have. And that's also going into the time of Jacob's trouble. All right. This is Jeremiah 30. I'll start at 6. Ask ye now and see whether a man do travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. Right? Because all of the calamity that's going to come upon this place. And we see it happening, but it's going to happen even more. Okay? Famines, plagues, pestilence, earthquakes, uproars of the people, riots. All right? These things are going to happen more and more. Jeremiah 30:7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. And how great is this day going to be? This place was never destroyed by way of thermonuclear missiles. All right? Thermonuclear missiles never rain down from the heavens. But it's going to when they're being shot off from one side of the earth to the other. And that great deliverance, those chariots delivering the 1/3, the elect of the nation of Israel. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. The technology you see today was never available. Okay, but now they have drones. Now they have humanoid androids. All right. So Esau is going to come down with his wrath, but that's only going to make for even greater deliverance. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right. You are the Israelites according to the Bible. You make up the tribe of Jacob, Israel. The tribe of Israel. The time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. The elect's going to be saved, but 2/3 of our people are going to be destroyed. All right, here it is. The doomsday clock was pushed forward. All right, and our people still can't grasp the danger. Okay. It says, it is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Right, the elect of Jacob. Psalms 49:11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. And I want to get this precept because that's the whole, that's all the pride. That's the pride of this man, this wicked man in power, Esau. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. So they're just going to continue ruling and ruling and ruling. All right. But just like the nations before them, they have to fall. The Chaldeans, the Babylonians, all right, the Medo-Persians, the Greeks, the Romans, America, NATO have to fall also. All right. Which, you know, NATO and the EU is basically an embodiment of all these different nations, or all these different rulers. The Chaldeans believed if they were to come out of rulership, the world would stop. You know, that was the pride of the Chaldeans. And guess what? They came out of power. Now here it is, Esau being proud as ever, speaking about he'll rule from generation to generation. He'll rule forevermore. This is not the kingdom. Psalm 49:11. Their inward thoughts is that their houses shall continue forever. And that's a lot of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the 2/3 of Israel, also believe in this. All right, you got 2/3 that's gonna take the mark. They're gonna take that stamp willingly, joyfully. All right, because they believe in Esau's kingdom. All right. The doomsday clock is going forward, but I guarantee Esau still has that mind state. See, Esau already figured out how he's going to make things work. Here it is, these nations are dropping the dollar. So what's going to be the next, what's going to be the next currency is going to be digital currency. All right. And now things are moving towards digital, electronical. So it's going to be a cashless society. And eventually they won't even have cards. There'll be no need for cards. There'll be no need for cell phones, because you have that mark in your right hand or your forehead. See, that's the future that Esau is looking forward to. All right. So although these nations, mainly Esau, America, NATO, EU, even Russia, all right, because Russia is they're a bunch of Edomites as well. That's why scripture says Satan fights against Satan. How shall that kingdom stand? Something to that effect. But this is Isaiah 34:1. Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world, and all the things that come forth of it. Yeah, and they're hearing through the prophets, the men out there in the houses and byways, sighing and crying, starting our apostles, our bishops, and our elders, and the brothers on down pushing this word throughout the four corners of the world. So all these nations are hearing. It says, for the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations. And I spoke on this precept earlier. I'm just going into it now. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations. Right. And why is the Lord mad at these nations? Because of the atrocities that have been done to the nation of Israel, put in captivity, being slaughtered. All right. And you have Esau, of course. He puts himself as the Most High. That's why he's saying that his nation could rule forever and ever. That's why he say from generation, because that's his pride. But he also wants to be like the Most High. It says, and his fury upon all his armies, he has utterly destroyed them. He has delivered them to the slaughter. Right, man. These the military might that Esau has, the technology that Esau has, it's not going to be able to withstand the force that Yahweh Shah is coming with, man, when he comes in his glory, along with those angels. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up upon their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. All right, so that's going to be a lot of slain people. There will be no one to bury anyone. And the mountains shall be melted with their blood. When you talk about mountains, you're talking about governments. And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and their hosts shall fall down. And the heavens is not talking about the spiritual world in this verse, but it's talking about the rulership. Like the old saying goes, a so-called white man's heaven is a so-called black man's hell. Now, you best believe that Esau is living in heaven, especially when you go into the elites. All right, they get the best of everything, the best food. All right, whether it has to be imported, whether they have their own farm or whatever. Everything is pure, the purest water. Okay, even the women Okay, they get everything. And all their hosts shall fall down, right? The military or their armies, as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a fallen fig from the fig tree. From our, so it's going, yeah, so that kingdom's going to be destroyed. The Lord's going to do it. From our sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. That sword being bathed in heaven, as I said earlier, heaven is going into Esau's kingdom. All right. Esau's age of rulership. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. That sword ultimately is going into those nukes, those nuclear missiles. All right. The Lord gave Esau the technology to create those missiles. And the Lord's going to use those missiles to destroy this place. All right. Going back to the doomsday clock. Why did the doomsday clock go to 90 seconds? Because Russia is talking about nuclear missiles. All right. Russia is threatening Ukraine with nuclear missiles. All right. And if nukes get shot off, there's going to be a chain reaction, man. Okay. And it's going to be the end of this bitch. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, Edom. All right. And upon the people of my curse to judgment. And who are those people those people cursed? Esau, the so-called white man. Last scripture, Isaiah 55:11. So shall my word be that go forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. Right, and the Lord prosper the word were these prophecies, all right, that we're seeing coming to pass. Famines, pestilence, wars, and rumors of wars, and ultimately the destruction of the virgin daughter Babylon, America. All right. And the deliverance of the elect. These are the words, these are the prophecies that came forth out of the Lord's mouth. All right. And it's happening now. So these things are beginning to prosper. All right. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to say. The doomsday clock is on point with the scriptures. All right. Signs of the times. You know, the scriptures speak about it's high times to wake up. And that's talking about our people, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. All right. Measuring the time diligently. Okay. And that's what the men of the Lord do. All right. Watching, praying, fasting. So, Lord willing, this was edifying. I want to say all praise goes to Yahweh, Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bashim, Chakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders, and salutations to the Akmat there pushing this word. You know, sincerely honest, the full elect. Shalom.